everyone, welcome back to my channel, SideHustleSeattle. So today, I actually want to do an in-depth review of the Remote Online Notary platform that I plan to use for pretty much all of my general notary work, as well as some of my signing agent work as well. And that platform is LiveNotary. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably heard me mention them before, more likely than not in more of a general overview capacity, but I want to get a little bit more in depth today and talk about, of course, the basics, how much it costs, where it's available, but also show you what it looks like from a notary view when you're with the signer, as well as kind of give you some of my favorite things about the platform. Now, I'm going to be 100% transparent and upfront. This video is being sponsored by LiveNotary. However, I did already choose them to be my primary platform before any sort of sponsorship conversations started. So hopefully that makes you feel like you're getting a little bit more of my unbiased opinion. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So LiveNotary is actually a little bit of a newer company. They just launched in December of last year, so December of 2020, and they're currently available in these states. Now, if you're watching the video and you don't see your state there, that is okay. They are looking to onboard new states as time goes on. Now let's make sure that we spend some time talking about the fees, because as somebody who's looking for a remote online notary platform, outside of functionality, fees are gonna play the biggest part in the decision that you make. Now, I will say, having done a lot of research on remote online notary companies, if you have seen, these fees and this pricing structure is definitely one of the more competitive ones that I've seen. And after talking to a few people in the company, that was the thing they were going for. They wanted it to be a really low barrier to entry. They wanted there to be no hidden fees, and they wanted to be as straightforward as possible. And from what I can see and from what I've experienced, that is what they've done with this current pricing structure. Okay, so let's get into the fees and the cost and what it breaks down to. So the pricing is, it's $10 a month, no setup fee, and $10 per transaction. So what that just means is, as long as you're signed up on the platform, you will pay a flat $10 per month fee just for using the platform itself. Now, each time that you invite a signer on, or each time that you have a session with the signer, you will pay $10 for that session. Now, that is a flat $10 for the session. It doesn't matter how many documents get notarized during that session. It doesn't matter how many seals you put on during that session. It is just $10 for that actual transaction. Now, what comes along with the $10 a month cost? So there's a few things that you get. Of course, you get your standard compliance items, your audio and visual recording, and they actually store recordings for 10 years, I believe. And then you also get your electronic journal, and you get your safe and secure way to identify the signer through KBAs and other identification tactics. Two things that really stood out to me, though, are the free digital certificate and the free electronic notarial seal. Now, if you're new to remote online notary work, a digital certificate is something that you need in order to safely and securely conduct a remote online signing. But most companies actually ask you to get it on your own. And when you do get it on your own, or you do get it through a third party, it costs money. And most of the time it costs anywhere from $60 to $140, depending on how long you're getting it for. So by getting it for free, you're automatically saving at minimum $60, which pretty much covers the cost of your first 6 months of using the platform. And even with your electronic notarial seal, if you were to go through a company, it's gonna run you about $20 as well. So there's definitely some upfront savings that you get just by signing up. So keep that in mind. Now, there's two features that they'll be rolling out soon that I think are actually gonna be pretty big value adds to the platform. One of those is a mobile app, because as you know, a lot of people are on their phone, they're on their tablet, they're on the go, they can't necessarily be next to a computer. So having a mobile app is just gonna make it that much more convenient for your signer to get their document notarized. And the second one is the ability to add additional participants at no extra cost. So currently the way the platform is set up is, if you have 2 signers that need to be on a document, they have to be in the same room. But in the future, hopefully sometime soon, they're actually going to allow you to have a second participant added on that does not need to be in the same room. They can be in a completely different room, completely different state. You can have multiple people within the same signing. So that is going to be a huge value add when that actually rolls out. The mobile app should be rolling out pretty soon, hopefully by the time this video launches. And then the additional signers or the additional participants to come soon. So looking forward to those. So one of the things you may have noticed when you're looking at what's included in the $10 a month is that LiveNotary doesn't actually provide you with any clients. Of course, for $10, you get to use the platform, you get to invite your own signers, but they're not giving you any signers directly. However, in the future, they do have some ways to help remote online notaries get some more business. So what they want to do is actually act a little bit less like a signing service, bring the clients directly to you, and more like a signing database. So if somebody is looking for a remote online notary, they can come onto the LiveNotary platform, they can see a list of notaries available, and they can reach out to you directly. So that is something that is a vision for the future. Hopefully we'll see if that launches this year, but definitely interesting, definitely different. I'm curious to see how that plays out. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's look at the internal view of what it looks like from a notary's perspective when you're using the platform. Okay, so here's what it looks like internally. So you can go to the dashboard to see if you have any calls. You can see any signers that you've currently invited, also ones that you've invited in the past. You can look at your journal, which is just your electronic journal that'll populate after you actually do a signing. Of course, you can see your profile and billing information. There's actually a discussion forum, and that'll lead you to Facebook to connect with other notaries on the platform. And then there's this LiveNotary training. So for whatever reason you need to learn how to navigate the platform, you can go ahead and look at these helpful YouTube videos. They also do live onboarding as well. So let's say we want to go ahead and invite a signer. We'll just click at the top invite. You're going to want to go ahead and put the email address of who you're inviting. Now, if you don't want them to go through the KBAs, you can do personally known. I'm going to do that for my example. And then just go ahead and upload the documents that they are going to be signing. So I'll just go ahead and click upload, and you can get them directly off of your computer. Now, what you'll notice on the bottom right there is that you'll see a platform fee. Now, keep in mind, there is that $10 per transaction fee that I talked about a little bit earlier. Now, the cool thing about this is you can either have the client pay the fee or you can pay for the notarization. And one thing that I like about LiveNotary is that you don't have to do the full transaction on the platform. So if you want to just pay for the platform fee and then handle the rest of it off platform, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to handle it all on platform, that being that the client actually puts their credit card information and pays you through the platform, that's fine too. So you can go ahead and add other fees on this first page, or you can do it when the notarization is completely done, which I will show you at the end. But once you've done it, go ahead and click invite. And that is going to give you a helpful link that you can either share with the signer, and it'll send them an email letting them know that they've been invited to a signing. So I wanted to make sure I took some time to show you what it looks like when you're actually with the signer. So this is the view that you'll see, and the signer will have something a little bit similar. So on the top left-hand corner, that's where the video feed of your signer will be. Of course, because this is just an example, you won't be able to see it. And as you scroll down, you should be able to see yourself. And so you want to make sure that you have a good camera and a good microphone so that the signer can see and hear you. You should be able to view whatever they verified their identity with right here on the left-hand side as well. So whether that be a driver's license or a passport, and a few other things that you can tag. So if you remember, I actually uploaded 2 documents, right? So if I wanted to switch between the documents, that is no problem. I can just go here at the top, and you should be able to seamlessly switch between them. And again, whatever you see, the signer should see, so they'll know if you're switching back and forth between the documents. Now, the cool thing about it is there's a lot of things to help you tag the document and make it a little bit easier to sign it on the side. So, of course, you'll have your information, your name, your email, your notarial stamp, your signature, but there'll also be different placeholders that you can have to help the signer navigate. So you can put a sign here and there, you can put a date here, you can put that they need to fill their name. Depending on how busy the document is and how much they need to sign, it may be helpful to help them navigate it and even keep you on pace to make sure you don't miss any signatures, especially if you're doing a loan signing. So those are super helpful. Another thing that I really like is that they have some pre-made acknowledgement and jurat notarial wording. So what you'll find with a lot of the documents that you may notarize is there's not always notarial jargon on there, and you'll need to add it. So you can actually drag and drop it here from the right-hand side onto the document and resize it as necessary. Or if for whatever reason there's truly not any space on the document, you can just add a blank page, and then you can drag and drop those on there as well. Now, let's say you're done signing, you've put your stamp on, they've signed everything that they need to sign. Now what do you do? So you'll go ahead and you'll just click complete. And when you click complete, this is where you can assign the fees. Now again, if you don't want the signer to pay for anything, then fine, you can just close it out at $0. But if you do want the signer to pay for things, you can add it here. So let's say you want them to pay for the platform fee. And then let's say you also want to charge them for your state fee. So my Washington notary fee is $25. It's the max that we can charge. And let's say I want to charge them for an additional document too. So I can do this and put it at $6. So the total they would pay is $41. Now, when you click done, what that's going to do is it's going to prompt them to put in their card information, and they'll pay for the notarization. After they're done paying, they'll get the PDF copy of whatever documents that they signed, and they should be able to live in their platform so they can go back and get them and revisit them as often as they need to. But yeah, that is it. It's extremely straightforward. It is super simple. And I love the fact that you can break down the fees right here to show the signer everything that you're truly charging them for. Let me know what you thought. All right, well, that is the end of the video. I want to know, truly, what did you think? Is this a platform that you can see yourself using? What were your favorite features? What features does it not have that you wish it did? After speaking with them, it sounds like they are very open to any feedback and suggestions that you have that can make it an even better platform. So I am curious what your thoughts are. Feel free to leave those in the comment. And as always, thank you so much for watching.